Good day, it's Tony Fortunato from the technology firm, and in this session we are going to look at a little troubleshooting episode I went through, and this is titled When an Upgrade Results in a Downgrade. And we cue the dramatic music. Dun dun dun. Yeah, I really don't have any music, it's low budget here. So we're going to start with the overview. A client of mine reported they're having issues with one of his routers running slow until they reboot it, or it eventually reboots on its own. So either way it reboots, I guess, to clear itself. They said they have two routers configured basically the same, and the other one is fine. The problem seemed to start after some network changes, but nothing they can think of should cause this problem. So the first thing I did, I took advantage of the fact that they have another one configured the same but not having any issues. I confirmed that the original one rebooted and what the reload reason was. I also noted what the current image was, and this is what the screenshot was. So you can see it's been up for a week, 3 days when I got to it, and it said return to ROM by power on. So basically it looks like a power outage, like it lost power, which wasn't the case. And there's the image file, and this is last reload type, normal reload. And this is good to know because sometimes there is a clue in there as to what caused the reload. So since we were logging into the router, I asked them to do a directory command. I noted there was two image files in the folder. You can see there's an image file here, an image file there, and some config files. Then we went to the other router and noticed it only had one image file. And it booted using the older iOS. So of these, this was the older 124 and this is 150. This was the older one, and that's what the other one was using. That was not having any issues. This one was using 150 and it was having issues. So this is where I like to go back to their network management tools, and I want to see if I can correlate any events with what their software might report. And the software was only reporting that it rebooted, which again, it's kind of too late for that. So now we can look at this one report. I was looking at the memory usage report for this router using this software, and it's SolarWinds, by the way. And you can see the memory usage climbs, and then boom, down it comes. Well, it comes down. This is when it rebooted, or was rebooted manually, and then you can see it creeping up again. So it just seems to be consuming memory until it dies. So I wanted to look at the other one, and you can see the other one is a lot, I'm going to say flatter, just for lack of a better term right now, between 60 and 80 megabytes. You can see it's just kind of, it's going pretty well flat across the board. So I said this newer version of iOS you have on this router has got some sort of memory leak or bug or something. I don't know what it is, but we can see the impact of what it's doing. So I changed the boot command to use the older version of software on the problem router. So the next time it reboots, it'll reboot with the newer software, or we can reboot it ourselves after hours. And basically it didn't reboot on its own, so we rebooted it ourselves. And as you can see in the chart below, the router was rebooted June 1st, and the memory usage doesn't climb like it used to. See that? So the $1,000,000 question: who put the newer iOS on the router and changed the config? So after some questioning, poking around, it was revealed that a consultant, not me, another consultant working there thought he was doing them a favor by upgrading the router that he was working on. He happened to have an iOS and thought, let me just do these guys a favor and let me upgrade this for them. And he was not working on the other router, so it was spared from his act of kindness. And that's just me being sarcastic. So sarcasm aside, I would suggest you ensure that any software upgrades are monitored to ensure they don't cause an issue, or to verify it fixed an issue, right? Because you may actually have an operating system or an iOS that does have a memory leak, and you might be applying a new iOS to fix that. So you should always track what it's doing and what it really does. So the consultant didn't mean any harm. He wasn't a malicious guy, right? He was just trying to be a nice guy. And you gotta, in his defense, in some cases a different configuration will encounter software bugs that you have yet to see. So this software might have worked fine on what he was using, and guess what? This slightly different config used some obviously different commands which caused the memory leak. So there you go. Hope that helps. Have a good day. Bye for now.